So let's talk a little bit more about how the retirement ages kind of impact the defined benefit plan. Because I'll talk to a lot of prospective clients who are high income earners and they anticipate maybe even retiring earlier than their normal retirement age of 59 and a half. Now, as we know, the defined benefit plan calculation is based on assumed retirement age of 62. So could we even set a earlier retirement age in some instances, and will that affect the calculation?
Yeah. So in most situations, like the general retirement age for the DB plan purposes is 62 or 65. Okay. So, you've got a little bit of a range in there to deal with. And sometimes people say, well, I don't understand. Why isn't it 59 and a half? Well, 59 and a half is when you can take money out of retirement plans
Mhm.
without having penalties and things like that. So they're different numbers. We typically will do 62 because 62 allows people to front load a little bit more. It's a compressed number, so it typically allows them to have a little bit more aggressive funding up front, and those are what we're stuck with. But I do hear you. We hear with this is especially true with physicians. I mean,
Mhm.
physicians generally love what they do, but I don't know that I've seen too many physicians that say, "Hey, I want to work to the day I die. I want to work till 70 or 75 or whatever it is or 80." Most physicians that we talk to, Zach, are like, look, I can only handle so much of this. I want to be done at 50 or something.
Mhm.
So if they set up a plan at 40, there's this thought that they have that, well, if I'm 40 and I want to retire at 50, then I'm just going to get all this money in. And at 50, I'm going to have 3.5 million and all that. And I say, no, you can't do that. And they say, well, why not? Why can't I do that? I said, because the IRS has defined 62 to 65. You can't make up your own retirement age
Mhm.
based on what you're trying to do. And in fact, if your plan is to retire at 50, let me tell you, you're probably not going to retire at 50. You might stick around a few more years longer and work part time. You might actually retire earlier than that. So you can't just pick your own number and try to fund to that retirement age. You're still stuck within the compliance guidelines of 62 to 65. Um, so again, that affects people, especially younger people that want to set up a plan and they think that they can do that and they get a little bit concerned or they don't understand. You got to realize what we're doing here is we're dealing with the IRS, and
Right.
these are rules that are established. And there's not a lot of flexibility in a lot of these rules. Now, there's flexibility in funding. There's flexibility in the type of investments that you can do. There's flexibility in a variety of things, but certainly not in your desired retirement age. That's got to be a little firmly set in place. But again, you want to keep these plans permanent, but you may not have the plan until your age 62, 65 anyways. So
Mhm.
often it becomes irrelevant. But again, usually that's someone who wants to retire early and feels that they can really, really front load or compress their contributions because they think a 62 or 65 just doesn't make any sense.
That makes sense. Yep, absolutely. Thanks for that insight, Paul.